This video is made for mature audiences. Parental discretion is strongly advised. Thank you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a promo game, but hope everyone's been doing well since last time. Today we are bringing you a new indie game title as part of my indie block and my promos. Today is Isle of Jura. The game is described as a self-paced casual game. You take on the role of Alex, who is in this picture right over here. She's apparently a college student or a high school student or something like that, coming out here to do a biology report, so she takes up fishing and exploration to help her fill it out. And it's our job to help her fish and study. So, as always with my promo games, I try to set a rough time, so plan on about 30 to 45 minutes, possibly up to an hour. For that, there, if you're watching on YouTube later, you know what you're getting yourself into. Everybody here on Twitch, of course, you guys hang out and chill. And yeah, there's nothing really too crazy about the game as far as like settings and stuff goes. It's very basic stuff. Let me pop in. First thing I do want to mention is that the game is a controller game. However, the game does not tell you this, so a little bit of a knock to the developer there for not putting somewhere on the screen here that controller is required or something like that. I don't mind a controller game, I just like to know about it. I actually, on my testing, I spent like 2 or 3 minutes trying to figure out how come my mouse wasn't working. So, I'm gonna temporarily shut my webcam off here so you guys can see. Very straightforward menus. There's a continue when you have a game saved, there's a new game, options, and quit. Very simple, straightforward stuff. Into the options here, and like I said, when you go into the options here, then it says, oh, by the way, look, you have controller mapping, which apparently the controller mapping is for an Xbox controller. So there's an option for VSync. However, I don't think it's necessary because the game is hard locked at 60 FPS. However, if you are on an older machine or for whatever reason your system can't handle the game, the VSync would help you stabilize your gameplay experience. So because this game is not like a shooter or anything, I don't have an issue with using it. I'm keeping it off because my computer can handle it. Audio, just regular master volume and music. One thing I did notice though, when you're on the audio settings, the sliders are not lined up to the boxes here. Like I'm moving my controller here left and right, and yeah, see, nothing happens there. And it works if you're on the one above it. So if you go to the language one, the master volume moves. So a little bit of an interface bug there. So if you guys do get this game, just realize there's a slight bug there. All right, so we're gonna start a new game because that's the way we do it at the start of the stream. Just like I said, let's sit back and enjoy, guys. Start a new game or race? Yes. Right. And I'm not sure if I have to. All right, I think it should be okay. And somebody knocking on the door. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but hey, Mom. How's it going? Made any progress? This is all like black screen. Nope. At this rate, I'll never come up with an idea. Hey, now there's no use getting frustrated. I like the Sims style, like wah, 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 wah. At least they put sound effects in for the dialogue, so you got something here. What exactly do you need for the report? Specimens, data, other stuff. So there's your plot. How about a trip to the islands? My granddad always loved going there. Okay, but what's even out there? Well, there's plenty of fish to catch, at least. 1 week later. I feel like that SpongeBob meme should be here. 1 week later. Welcome to the Isle of Jura. You're lucky it was such a smooth crossing. It's usually a lot more rainy. So this is a low poly game. If you guys don't understand what that means, it just means that they use basic polygon shapes, very simple, straightforward. not necessarily a bad design choice. A lot of really good games use a low poly design, so I actually don't mind that one bit. Anyway, you said you're here to see your granddad's old friend? Well, I'm here to finish my biology report. Oh yeah, his name is Donald? Good old Don. Hi, he's lived on the island for years. I feel like he should have like an Irish accent or something the way he talks. He's usually up at the lake. That's one of his favorite fishing spots. Favorite with the U. This developer must be a Brit or something. I make a joke because I'm an American. We don't use U's in words like this, so I can always tell when somebody's a Brit or an Aussie or something like that because they spell their words a little bit different. Even though it's the exact same word. No worries, feel free to explore. The locals aren't shy. If you need anything, I'll be right here. Alright, so now you're in control. There's no real directions or anything to follow here. Like I said, the developer described it as pretty much a self-paced casual game. Now, I'm not doing anything. You can't actually change the camera yourself. There's no camera control, so when you move around, the camera sort of self-adjusts. As somebody who plays games like this right here to me is a little bit of... For me, it's not like the best design choice because right here, look, I moved up here and the thing like tilts it all the way. And in order for me to fix the perspective, I have to come all the way back here so I can see over here. So the self-rotating design kind of, I know it'll mess with some people, especially when you're moving. Like, you notice how it's just like, I moved all the way up here, but it's still doing the rotation. The rotation doesn't catch up to you. So. I noticed that you camp out in the garden. What are you doing today? I'm here for a fishing trip. That's so cool. I once saw a really big fish. Mom said it was a rare one. It was in the sea near the waterfall behind the lake. Thanks, I'll try and catch it. Good luck. So yeah, that's the one thing I kind of wish that was in here, was a way to rotate what you're looking at, because for me it's like if I'm having to wait for the game to catch up to me, like I get frustrated easily like that because I want to be able to rotate it, even if it's a slow rotation. But anyway, this is what we're looking for. Hi there, you must be Alex. It's me. Heard a lot about you from your granddad. You mentioned you're visiting a juror for the fishing? Sort of. I need to finish a biology report for my degree. Yes, I guess she's in college. Raymond said you might be able to help. Well, if you're looking for specimens. Plenty of aquatic life around the island. Anyway, I'll reopen the shop for you. In the meantime, take this fishing net. We'll catch a few things in the river and along the shore. No problem, I'll go catch some fish. So yeah. Now you get a little bit of a mini tutorial here, which is a pretty straightforward thing. So hit X to equip it, and then now it says right trigger. Okay, this is my right trigger. It's not right trigger, it's actually the left one. And actually it's not even the left trigger. This is the trigger. This is the bumper, this is the trigger. Yeah, this is the bumper here. It's actually my left trigger. So, another little defect in the game design. Now we wait for a fish to appear. And yes, you really do have to wait this long. Then you get this bar at the bottom. And you hit the left trigger again. And hit the green spot. And it'll catch whatever it is you're looking at. And then you get these notations in the fishing journal along with like your record of the biggest one that you caught. So I don't know yet because I've read the game, but the even on the Steam profile for the game, it's like it doesn't really say too much about if there's any specific reason for any of this stuff. Now I've looked at what the development has, and I think you'd have to join the Discord to really see what he's going for. I haven't had a chance to visit the Discord to see if you know what the goals behind the game or what the roadmap is for the game. So So yeah, once you get that, you also have this inventory which you can look down and see which type of fish you caught here, and everything is up down on here. There's no bumpers or triggers or anything you have to hit. This here again, you can look at your settings if you want to change something. You can use this to quit, and then the white one over here on the end is to go back to the game. So now that we've got the fish, you actually need to catch a few. So I'm going to go ahead and back in here and we're going to go back in here and try to grab a couple more. And I play Stardew Valley, so doing the fishing thing, I got the hang of it pretty quick. So if you have trouble with it, just take your time. Like I said, thankfully the way the game plays, there's no rush to do anything. So you can take as much time as you need to learn how to deal with the slider when it pops up. Now the slider does not always pop up. There's certain things when you catch them that it just auto catches it. Mainly the mainly the artifacts that you can catch in the game as well. If one pops up, you'll see it. But sea snail, 1/10 of a pound. I like how it says pounds, even though it's written by somebody who uses use in there. I always find that funny that it says pounds. I don't know if it's a localization thing or not, or if that's just the metric that the person decided to use. Given the fact that the dialogue was written with the use in it, and it's potentially, like I said, a UK or a different version of English, I figured they would have put kilograms in here, but it's not. It's just an observation. I'm not complaining about it or thinking anything's off about it. It was just a curiosity for me. It's like, yeah. So we're just gonna catch a few things because I'll show you why in a bit. I'm just gonna try to catch it like 5 or 6. Crabs. It's funny how you can just catch things with the net in this game. Now the one thing that I do wish we could do would be to just fast forward through it. When we catch a fish, we can just click it and get out of there. It does kind of lag like that. That's not me waiting. That's actually the way the game is. So, okay, there we go. See right here, we got a fossil. So that auto catches. Yeah, see, I'm pressing the buttons and nothing happens. So that's another thing that he might want to add in a future update, is just the ability to kind of push through there. Because once you catch a fish or two, you're going to want to fast forward through it. Some people like to play fast like that. So I would appreciate that myself if that was added in. But it's not, the wait's not too horrible, so it's it's not going to be you're going to be sitting there forever waiting for it. Yeah, let's go talk to Don. Nice going. I see you caught something. Something from our report, at least. Go visit Lola. She runs the restaurant down near the beach. I imagine she'll be interested in buying some fish from you. Will do. Okay, so yeah. The reason why, because remember how Don said he's going to open up a shop? So yeah, he opens up a shop here, and then he sells a fishing rod and magnet bait. You can guarantee yourself an artifact. So we'll come back to that later. We're going to be using the net for a little while because we have to, as you can see, we have to save up $50. Now we have to go down to the beach. And again, I kind of wish there was a way to angle this faster. This isn't the beach that he's talking about. I can't remember where Lola is. The nice thing is, though, because the way this island is laid out, you can eventually walk from one end of it to the other, just walking around the circle of the island. So I do appreciate that. I do like some of the design they have in this game. He's got those little zephyrs showing the wind currents. So I don't know if that's something that you have to take into account later, but I do like the fact that this is in there. Because if you're casting, your line does eventually require that you cast into or away from the wind. That'll be really useful to know which way the wind's blowing. And I don't know if it's just a decorative graphic either, because some games they just do that for decorative graphic because we're on an island and all that. Lola, where are you again? I don't remember where she is. There's the house up there. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'll know it when I see it because there's picnic tables out in front of our place. Nope, that's back where I started. Hello? Hello? Okay, I gotta figure out where I'm supposed to go. The funny thing is, when I played this earlier, it took me a minute, when I did it on my test, it took me a minute to figure out where she was too, because of the way the game doesn't let you, like, look to one side or the other. So it took me a minute to figure out where I was supposed to be going. And he said that would be really useful if we could turn our orientation around, or at least if the camera would stay behind you the whole time. Like, I think if the camera stayed behind you the whole time, it would be a lot better. But right now we're walking into the camera, so we literally can't see where we're going. Again, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, it's just something that I feel like, for the better of everybody, it could be adjusted. Oh, who's this? Kirsty. Oh, a visitor. Hi, I'm Alex. We don't get many visitors outside of tourist season. Fascinating, and you're here too. I'm on a fishing trip for university work. Ah, fellow intellectual. How wonderful. I see you already found an artifact of interest. Yeah, I just found it by chance. Marvelous. I'll study this and add it to my collection. If you like to view it, just come and see me. Yeah, let's see what we got. Alright, so we got the fossil. Holds a fossilized ammonite, an extinct species of mollusk. Okay, so apparently she's got a cabinet full of fossils here. Okay, cool. Alright, so I didn't find this person last time, so that's a nice little bonus. Oh, what's this? Can we actually use this? Nope. Rip. I'm upset. I can't use that. So, there's no music in the game. It's just, right now, it's just the sound of the water. So, is that a bad thing? No, not really. Let's grab another couple of fish while we're out here. Well, I mean, just the sound of the ocean, it does lack a little bit of catchiness, I guess. Like, I wouldn't mind like a soundtrack going on, like just some ambient music would probably be helpful here. Oh, we got a hermit crab, nice. We got a different kind of fish out here. You got a clam and a hermit crab. Also, just another observation on my part is the choice of the character model for your main character here, like Alex being a person of color of some type. I know there's a lot of gamers, people who like watch games, that sometimes get a little ornery about, like, you know, all the characters being like being whitewashed. So I don't know if the developer made that decision consciously or not to do that, but it's a nice change, you know. And normally I wouldn't mention that, but it was just something that struck me when I saw the key art for the game. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I can tell by the picnic tables. Hey there, what can I get you? I'm not here for food at the moment. I'm Alex, Don sent me. Get here from Don, someone was visiting. I'm a bit short on stock at the moment. If you have any fish, I'll be happy to buy them. So yeah, pretty much you buy the fish from her. Well, you catch the fish, you sell them to her. Oh wow, I actually got $60 worth of fish. Alright, so now I can go back to Dawn. I wasn't expecting that. When I was doing a test, I didn't catch nearly like any high quality like fish. I only had like $35. I was wondering, I'm like, dang, all these fish are like worthless. There I go, I picked up 60. So, I guess it is possible to grab some fish pretty quick. But yeah, like a mini map or something here would be really useful too. Like even, you know, like a little mini map in the corner of the game would even be useful if they're not going to change the camera orientation. Yeah, let's go ahead and buy this rod. Float fishing is used in lakes and the sea. Cast into the water with the right trigger. Okay, this is more like Stardew Valley fishing now. It's got a power meter and everything. Wait for a fish to bite, then press the trigger when it goes under the water. Hold it to reel it in. Release when the tension bar is near the top so the line will snap. Okay. Oh, this is jank. Okay, that's weird. Alright, so it's a pressure sensitive. It's just like Stardew Valley in that sense, where it's like pressure sensitive. The harder you press it, the more likely it is to jump to the top. But that whole bouncing it in the middle thing, that's actually more like maybe Graveyard Keeper. But yeah, definitely like that's... Okay, that was a little jank. That's going to take some getting used to. That's definitely going to take some getting used to. That felt a little jank when I did that. Like I said, I've played fishing games before, so... Well, games that had fishing in before. That definitely felt a little jank. Trying to figure that out. So it's just really just tap it a little bit. That really went out far that time. What the hell? I might have went out too far. Nope, never mind. Come on. Okay, yeah, so you just have to hold it for like maybe a second or so. Maybe like tap it, yeah. If you kind of like tap it a little bit, it works better. Yeah, okay, that definitely is gonna take some work getting used to. That's a little... I'm not gonna say it's awkward, but it's different. Oh, there's a fly fishing rod now. Okay. So if you want to, you can upgrade your rods pretty fast if you're really quick at catching fish here. I'm going to stand over here. I want to see if maybe we can just like... Let's see. Yeah, see, I kind of wish I could change my orientation here because I want to aim that way, but I'm not sure if I'm aimed the right way. And I wasn't really aimed the right way. Yeah, see, that definitely needs to be... Yeah, the dev really needs to add some type of way to change your viewpoint, because that was weird. Oh, that's jank too. I mean, so far with the game, I do like it. Like I said, I kind of wish there was some music going on. Even if they got some generic like copyright-free music from like YouTube or something thrown here. Okay, we got a new record. We got a big trout, 8.4 pounds. See if I can get a little bit closer to where I'm trying to aim. Okay, there we go. Yeah, aiming for a particular spot is really, really difficult, though, because you can't change your camera at all. It's almost impossible to see that. Oh crap. It's very easy to redline this. Oh, what the hell is this? A bass. Big green bass. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Alright, so we've caught some pretty cool fish there. Let's, there's this boat down here, so I'm gonna go say hi to this person. Alright, so far we've met, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 people. So not that many people. Am I going the right way? No. So there aren't that many people on the island. I think he said too, I think the game is listed as early access on Steam, so likelihood it's not finished yet. Which means that there should be some more content coming, hopefully. Or at least some other things. Oh, that's a ferryman. If you wanted to fish further offshore, I'd be happy to set sail. You'd need some fishing weights from Dawn, though. Okay. Alright, so we can actually go out on the boat and fish. That's interesting. Alright, so there aren't that many people on the island, but we do have options. Let's see, is this going to whip around on me? Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Fishing right... Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. The code's blocking that. Okay. You should probably make this a no fishing zone if we can't see around the boat, because that's a little awkward. You should probably make the area directly around the boat like a no fishing zone, like we can't cast there because of the boat. Like the ferryman should say, hey, don't fish here. You're not going to get anything good. Cod? Okay. Yeah, that's a hefty cod. Now let's take a look at our, by the way, you can hit the start button to do this. Now let's see, let's take a look at what we got. So we, common fish, aggressive fish, don't hesitate to thrash about when hooked. Mystery fish, river, we've only got one fish there. Sea, starfish, crab, sea snail, mussel, slam, cod. So there's one more sea fish that we've got that apparently we can catch here. So we've already caught like pretty much all the available fish. We just have to find a couple of them. And just catch enough to make 150 bucks. So as far as my... You know, this is actually kind of a cool game for someone to play if they've only got like a couple of minutes. They can come and catch a couple... Oh, I lost that one. I actually lost that one. Okay. And this is the type of game you can play because it's very casual, relaxed, self-paced type of game. You come and catch a couple of fish, spend a few minutes on it, and then come back to it later. So far, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the game. Yeah, this fishing thing, though, it's a little... I'm getting used to it already because I can adjust pretty quick, but it's definitely a little... It's definitely a little awkward. Especially with the controller, because controller buttons aren't always the most responsive. Controller buttons definitely are not the most responsive things in the world. Even if you have even if you're using something that has it's easy to use pressure sensitivity on, like it's a little on the awkward side. It looks like though we do have to spend a good deal of money to buy magnets so we can catch more artifacts or fossils or whatever. So it seems like that's where the money sink is in the game early on. It's not the rods, but the magnets so we can catch fossils. I don't know how many of them we can actually get right now. You really do have to pay attention, though. I mean, this is not a game you can just sort of like half pay attention to. You really got to pay attention to the fish. There doesn't seem to be any way to guarantee that you're going to catch the fish other than try to bounce the bar in the like in between the green and like the, I guess, the brown zone. It's probably like a brown than a yellow, but I think that's what you have to do. You just have to kind of bounce the two of them until, you know, it catches. So, it says there's supposed to be a river fish. So, assuming I stand here, this isn't the right rod for fishing here. I should try the fly rod. Okay. Alright, so you need a fly rod to catch here. That's nice to know. It's nice to know that it says it changes depending on what type of... Oh, you can see like the little island out there. But you don't need the fly rod for that. Okay. Little scenery out there, but you can't see it normally, so again. Camera. Manual camera. That would be a really cool thing. Whoa, on the fall time. That's my biggest takeaway so far. This thing needs like the ability to the player to control the camera. Okay. So it has to be down to green for it to catch. Another thing that the game should tell you, that it needs to be down at the lower end of the green for it to catch. Because every time I've caught a fish, it's only been when I've let go of it and let the green part show up, and then it kind of like self-reels it. Again, not a huge problem, but you know, again, that's just like a minor detail, but you know, it's something that needs to be addressed. Yeah, definitely a work in progress. Like, the game's definitely a work in progress. But I mean, it plays pretty well. Okay, see right here, that kind of like throws me. Like I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to hit this little baby pond here, and the dang game like just switches perspective on you, so you don't know if you're actually aiming at it. So that's a little annoying. Okay, so is this basically stuck behind a rock? Oh. Perch. Okay, so really janky. Fishing is really, really janky. Okay. Is what I'm getting. Because I'm hung up on a rock there and it doesn't move. And I couldn't tell what the progress was, so that was really, really janky. Alright, so we're up to $57 now. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems like it takes a little while to do things on this game. Yo, Shane. How's it going? Hope you're doing well, brother. Let's see, we've been live for about like half an hour now. Yeah, like I said, I'll go a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if maybe I can catch a few more things here. It seems like it's almost better to try to catch crabs instead. I got more money catching crabs than I did catching the fish I caught. So, Yeah, so you have to kind of keep it in the lower green area to really catch anything. It caught faster when I kept it in the lower part of that, so. Not like the casting distance affects anything or not. Doesn't seem to be a reason for it yet. Unless if I cast right in front of my feet, maybe it's more likely I'll catch a fossil? Question mark? Oh, it's getting warm in here. Holy crap. Alright. Color water is fine. But when you're casting like this, because the rings around the bobber are yellow, and that white thing, like the whitish parts of the water, that I guess represent the cresting and waves and stuff, it just kind of like, it actually hides the bobber. So, I feel like that's not the best design either for the color palette. I think he would have been. I think they would have been better off using a two-tone blue, like darken it up a little bit to where it's like a different shade of blue, but it's still blue. Because that's kind of distracting, actually. Yeah, let me see what happens if I just like drop the thing right in front of me. Well, if it changes how I fish. That still threw it out there pretty far. By just plopping it right in front of me. Doesn't seem to be any difference, really. I said, unless there's some special reason why you're supposed to cast far out, I really don't see a need for it. Unless he's did something like, you know, like they did in like Stardew Valley, where there's different zones, and it improves like the size of the fish you catch. Maybe. I'm using Stardew Valley as a reference because the most recent game I played that had fishing in it. I had like that actually like casting distance mattered somewhat because of the quality of the fish. Unless like further casting gives you a chance for bigger fish, I don't see the reason why to really cast all the way out there. Because it takes longer to reel them in. Oh, jellyfish. Okay, well, that's new. Let me take a look at something here. Huh? Oh, that's weird. There's a mystery fish, but it wasn't the one I caught. So, does that mean there's more fish? Or does that mean there's a special one you're supposed to catch? That's another interesting thing. No, yeah, I'm glad to hear there's actually like a zone here at least where different fish are available. That's my first jellyfish. I was on the other side of the island, now I'm here. I don't know if it's like specific to here or not. None of switching to the net's gonna mean I catch different like net fish. I'm gonna try that and see what happens. Yeah. This seems to be jellyfish water. Yeah, let's try the let's try my net again. See if anything different pops up here when I use the net. No, I messed that up. Nope, just a starfish. A record starfish, but still just a starfish. But yeah, I know people that would appreciate the character design for Alex at least. What the hell is that? Oh. That was just weird. The Wind Zephyr thing went right through the screen and it looked like a screen defect. Another mussel? Okay, yeah. That was just weird. I missed that one too. So it's actually not like super ultra grindy, but it is kind of grindy because you have to kind of grind a little bit to get the money for the stuff that you want. So yeah, it's a matter of just like grinding out the fish you need for money. Not at least not a bad thing at all. I'm not knocking that, but it definitely does present like a grind mechanic into what was described as a pretty casual game. That's interesting. I suppose there had to be some way to make like a progression in the game, so I can understand it. It's not a knock on the game. I'm just laughing about it. Yeah, the fishing net thing and everything else, it's just random time. It's just like any actual fishing. Sometimes you get it right away, and sometimes you have to wait a while. A newt. Eye of Newt. And suddenly we're making witches' potions. There might be people that are also upset the fact that it's capped at 60 FPS, but I don't think that's a huge problem. I really don't. I feel like the 60 FPS thing is just like a preference for people. You know, it being 60 FPS or it not being 60 FPS. Okay, so there is a plateau up here, apparently. Can we get up there? Can we get up here is the question. Oh yeah, we can. It's right here by her house, okay. So let me see. It said I needed to be able to fly fish. Can I fish from like right here then? Yeah. But I can use my net. I can't use that rod, but I can use my net. I totally borked that. Oh, freshwater shrimp. Okay. Now I wonder about the waterfall here. The shrimp thing from Forrest Gump is coming to my head right now, seeing the shrimp. Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp cocktail, shrimp and rice. Okay, so I don't know if there's a way to get up there. No. Okay. Well, again, not a problem. Alright, let me see if I actually have enough money to buy the next rod. I probably don't. And in the time I was planning on playing this today, I don't know if I'm going to actually make the money. Yeah, Earth. Oh, there's like another little lookout place over here. I wonder if he's planning on letting us use these in a future patch or something. It'd be really nice if we could. And we can go on the other side to go netting here, but we're gonna go talk to Dawn. What is it again? 150 for the fly fishing rod? I don't know if I'm going to get the 150 in my promo time I'm doing today, guys, but we'll see. Oh. No. I don't know, I might be able to grind it out real quick. If I find the right spot, I could probably get the last $40-some. So... casual game and I'm talking about grinding. I'm chuckling because it's like yeah, okay, but yeah, that's the type of player I am. Chili on rice with cornbread, nice. Oh, more newts. Okay, let me switch back to the rod then. And we're just gonna go this way. Sounds good, Shane. I made some more duck goop for myself. The Korean rice cake soup. Oh, I lost that one. Holy crap! I actually lost that one. Okay, that was interesting. I didn't redline it, so I'm surprised it broke. The line broke. I wonder if that means the fish... I wonder if that means like the bass and the other fish that have like a description that says they fight if they can break the line even if you do it right. Or if it's because I let it bottom out and it got away. Gold bream. Oh, okay. Dude, you've never had Korean rice cake soup, dude. That's a big filling meal. That is a big filling meal. There's lots of meat in it. The rice cakes, they're really chewy things you could bite into. Vegetables. Amazing broth. Trust me, you eat a bowl of that, you get filled up. If you're really hungry, you'll have two. Oh, this one's fighting me. Oh, that's interesting. A trout. Okay. All right. This lake seems to be the place to go for like some variety here. Okay, now while I like the Zephyrs for environmental purposes, them going right across where your bobber is a little distracting. I'm not gonna lie. At least it doesn't, like... At least you can hold it if you miss where you want to cast. I wonder if the casting distance really has an effect on anything. If like hitting like the deeper water means anything or not, or if it's just like purely... Whoa, what the hell? Quaich? Okay. I wonder what the heck that is. Alright, so we just picked up another random like fossil artifact thing, so... Hello? Hello, hello? Wait, what? Okay. Welcome back, dude. Oh, what do we got here? Sturgeon, maybe? Yep. Hello, it's me again, goodbye. Did you unfollow me or something? Well, hey, say either way, man. Welcome back. Hope your day's been going well. That's weird. I haven't seen you in a little while. What happened? Did you like delete all your social medias and stuff again? You said once that you like to do that sometimes. Okay. Too bad though. You ruined that wonderful follow age you had. We're gonna have to start you over again. Oh crap! I lost that one. All right, so there's a very short time when the thing goes under the water where you have to click it, or otherwise you lose it. Yeah, I lost it again. Dang. Wow, that was like, this is rude. Okay. This is rude. There we go. Yeah. Come on. Get caught. Oh, another sturgeon. I'm having Stardew flashbacks with the sturgeon and the line breaking. Boy. Okay, well, let's see if that was enough. I want to see if maybe I can at least buy the other rod. I don't know if I made enough money, though. Most of the fish seem to only sell for like a couple bucks, so I'm really going to have to like get lucky. And these fish are going to have to be valuable. Okay, that one was worth 40. Alright, wow. Okay, so the gold bream was worth a lot. Alright, so we got 186 and we got the other artifact now. I'm going to actually go talk to the... Where's the girl with the artifacts again? She's up there. I'm going to go buy this rod from Don first. And then I'm going to go turn in this thing, and I'm going to try one fish with the with this rod in the river here, just to see what happens. Alright, so making the money in the game isn't too horrible. It just kind of depends on the fish you catch. I guess you have to catch decent ones to make some good money, so... Like fly fishing! Okay, we got another tutorial. Fly fishing is used for river fishing. Tap right trigger, ripples will appear when you're at the right speed. Oh Lord. What the hell? Oh man, okay, that was wrong. All that for a minute? Okay, so he uses both of them for that, and you have to get that orange bar to stay inside the green one. Okay, that was kind of hectic. That's kind of hectic, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what to expect there. Remember to tap left mouse. What? Okay, how does this work again? Oh. Okay, that's bizarre. I don't understand this. I don't get it. Huh. Hey, how is it supposed to work? Huh. I don't get this. Okay. I'm confused. I'm confused now. Does it still work like a normal rod out here, or am I stuck with this now? Okay, it still works like a normal rod here, so it's just a river. Huh. A red mullet. Okay, we do catch different fish with this, though. Alright, so we lose the basic rod for the big rod. Alright. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a little... What is this thing, anyway? Traditional two-handed bowl, large meadow trophies is... Okay, so this must... That looks like Gaelic or something. That's like Gaelic or Scottish or something like that. I might have to look that up. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. It looks like quack, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced completely different. Okay, alright, we'll stop here. Okay, guys, so let's talk about the game. Graphics and sound, it's fine. Music, very minimal. Like, there's a lot of points for the music isn't there, so could use a little tweak. Gameplay's pretty straightforward. It's very simple. You just walk around and you fish. The net thing isn't that bad. The first fishing rod's not that bad. It's a little, like I said, it's a little weird, and it obviously doesn't match the controller at all. The fly fishing thing, I thought I figured it out, but apparently there's something to it that I'm missing, and unfortunately, it doesn't really give you an opportunity to know what the hell you're doing, so that's a little bit of a jank thing. The fishing record, your record in the game, like, it seems to keep expanding when you catch stuff, so it doesn't show you like how much you have, only that you have more to find. I guess that's the best way to put that. I mean, it's simple, straightforward. It is a relaxed game. Like you can say, you can play it as slow or as quick as you want. He said the camera angle thing really bothers me because that should not be a thing. Like the camera angle thing there should be some way to adjust the camera angle. So that's a big thing I think the developer needs to do. Maybe something like there's something in game here to say that you need the controller because there's no mouse cursor here, and even though that instruction said tap the left mouse, I'm like, I'm supposed to play with my controller and my mouse. I'm like, huh? So that's a little confusing there too. There's obvious like UI problems, like with the sliders and stuff. Those things don't match up with where they are on the screen. So, let's see. Right now on Steam, it's $4.99 as regular price. It is on promo for like 10% off. Oh, it's not listed in early access. I must have been looking at something else. I thought it said it was listed in early access. That's my fault. It is easy to pick up. It is kind of relaxing, but there's still like there's still a lot of work needs to be done in this game, I feel like. If it continues to fix it and polish it, I feel like yeah, it definitely is not a game for action-oriented people. Like, this is way too serene of a game for some people I know. So, but yeah, it definitely feel like, you know, it just needs something that just you want to sit back and relax to and just, you know, kind of like zen. I see this game working for people like that. Recommending it? Ugh. I would say yes if you just want to play a Zen style game. Like, if you want to play something that's kind of like simple, straightforward, doesn't require too much. I think once if you can figure out a way to adjust the way the mechanic for like the button pressing works, I think that would be a little bit better for the fishing too, because it feels a little weird. Like I said, jank is the best way I can describe it. It just doesn't feel right. It's almost like it's delayed a little bit, and that's what the VSync turned off. Usually when you turn VSync on, you actually have input delay on top of it, so I'd be kind of worried to play this with VSync on. But yeah, if you guys feel like this might be a jam, yeah, definitely. It's called Isle of Jura, and he said it's on Steam now. It released today, February 11th, so I mean, this is a new release game. I'm gonna say right now, with the way the game plays, for my taste, it's like a 5.5 out of 10. Like, it's just, it's decent enough to play. It does what it says it's gonna do, but mechanically, there's just issues for my taste that would like hinder me from wanting to play it long term. But if, like I said, if it does get fixed, then, you know, obviously it'll, you know, my thoughts of the game would improve. But yeah, as for like, but yeah, for $4.99, if the game plays, the game seems like it'll play out long enough for. I mean, a lot of people look at the length of time for a price, and I feel like sometimes that's fair, sometimes it's not. I think in this particular case it isn't, because you'll spend a lot of time just doing stuff. The economy is pretty basic and straightforward in the game too, so I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do to like really speed it up. But yeah, guys, thanks everybody for watching through Isle of Jura. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the game. Everybody on Twitch, hang out as always. We're gonna go pop on something else. If you're on YouTube, you made it to the end of the VOD. Thank you very much. Remember, everything's down in the description box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. And yeah, go check out the developer too, and go check out the Steam link. And yeah, we'll see y'all for the next one. Until then, have a good one.